Live from Los Angeles. Welcome back to Good Morning, LaLa. And on Friday, it's all about love. And we got to love our careers. So Isabella, founder of
Guava Empowerment.
Guava Empowerment, there we go. She basically helps entrepreneurs scale and helps us with all those details and has an amazing podcast.
That's right.
Welcome.
Yes.
How are you doing?
I'm doing great. So nice to be here. Thank you for having me.
Okay, this is such a timely conversation because if you're on Instagram, we're all trying to figure out how to master this algorithm.
Right.
How do we even begin?
It's a beast, right?
Right. I'm so frustrated personally with it.
Well, that's step number one, release the frustration, right? Like you were talking about earlier, relationships detachment. That's really step number one. But what you have to know about Instagram is that it's really just a computer. It's a man-made computer. It's an algorithm. And the way the algorithm works is that it wants to provide the best user experience on the platform.
I mean, there isn't a man behind the scenes like...
It's like,
we
no,
don't like
flagger, shadow, put a shadow. But
Instagram God.
It works in the sense that it wants to put the best content up, so that way the user sees what they want to see, rather than us picking what the users picking what each other sees in that sense.
So everybody's talking about the likes going away. It's happened in 7 countries across the world.
Yeah.
It very well might happen here in the US. What do you think about that?
I think it'd be interesting to see. I don't want to jinx anything, but I haven't experienced it on my account or the ones that I've managed or have my hands on. But my personal philosophy is it would be a really great indicator to see if your content is actually good, right? Because if you like the content, if you like the selfie, or if you like the teaching content or the interview, you're going to like it. But by eliminating it publicly, it's going to be a really good indicator to see if like, oh, do people blindly actually like this? Because it's actually going to be visible to the user, to the original poster.
Right. So if I'm on Instagram, hypothetically, I can't see how many people have liked this particular post.
Unless it's your post. Right.
I love this idea.
love that.
It also makes sure that you're not just posting clickbait, right? Because are you really posting content that's true to you? Or are you posting, oh, I'm going to have to post this sexy whatever or picture because you're trying to kind of like.
I love sexy pictures.
But that's the secret.
We all like them, but the thing is, if you think of your relationship with Instagram on a spectrum of like red, orange, orangey yellow, yellow green, it's kind of like you're either in the Instagram's good graces in the green, or you're not in their good graces, which means like your content is not as good. You're maybe using third-party apps such as bots or automated like things that Instagram doesn't really prefer you to use. So it's a smart computer. They know what's going on outside of the platform.
So is organic engagement dead? Can you
No,
organically
absolutely not.
grow? Well, then how do you do it?
Got it. So providing high value-based content, meaning content that your audience actually really wants to see and hear from you, teaching content, fun facts or stories, even like personal motivational stories. Audiences love that. I mean, people really connect. And that's what you have to first understand, is that there's real people behind all the likes and the numbers. And you're talking to a real human when you're writing a caption or on stories. You're not talking to a little tiny circle with the face in it. So when we humanize the platform and we're able to really put connection first, and you also create shareable content, the people watching you are going to be evangelists for your content and share that, and that creates organic growth.
Is there anything we can do that would make it go viral or something that's like...
I actually had a viral post go yesterday.
Yeah?
Nice.
Yeah, one of my posts went viral yesterday, and it was such a surprise. That's the thing. You never know what's going to do really well, and I think that's a truth for a lot of aspects of life. But I almost didn't post. It was like this infographic that I posted, and I never do them. But it went totally viral, and like it got over 50 reshares and like 800 saves, but I didn't have a specific formula. But the one commonality with all viral content is that it's shareable, right? Like Old Town Road was shareable. Chocolate Rain, back when I was like a teenager, and that was like the most viral YouTube video. Remember Chocolate Rain? I don't know.
Absolutely.
So like it's shareable. You want to share it with your friends, your coworkers, your family, and that's the commonality with viral content.
So it's also the hashtags, right? Did you put particular hashtags?
Yeah, I definitely use hashtags. Hashtags are a great way to create categorize the content that you're posting, and you're able to have up to 30 hashtags on any Instagram post, and why wouldn't you want to use them?
We heard you're not supposed to use more than 5.
What? No.
Okay.
This Instagram thing, on one hand, I love for the people who love it, but I don't love it. And I would love to outsource it. Can I just outsource it to you and you can do it all? Or how does it work?
So I don't have an agency anymore. But there are agencies, there are social media managers. I did that, and it was a really great stepping stone into what I do now, which is primarily business consulting and strategizing with entrepreneurs, mainly women. But
Is that a good idea for people to do?
If you absolutely hate it and you're just like, Instagram is a drain to me, because it's not really for anyone,
Right.
everyone. It's for people who, I don't know, I think I love it because I grew up on the internet. In this age where I had the family computer, and then I got a cell phone, and I got an iPhone when I was like 14. But you can definitely outsource it if it's not something that you're really passionate about. But some people love connecting, and sometimes if your audience is following you, you might like it more if they're showing you love and and approval, and I don't know. It's kind of like a double-edged sword, I think.
Right.
So tell us a little bit about the Guava Girl Podcast.
Yeah, so the Guava Girl Podcast is my iTunes high-rated podcast. It's a business-centered podcast where we talk about the ins and outs and the truth of what it's like being a woman in startup culture. So I have a background in business consulting and startup consulting. I started when I was 18, and I had my hands in about 15 startups in the span of 3 years. And during that experience, my opinions and thoughts were not as valued because I was a woman. I'm also a woman of diversity, and startup culture is very white male dominant. And I was constantly either demoted or not promoted. So that's what really made me go off and do my own thing. And the Guava Girl Podcast is the podcast I wish I had when I was doing that. We talk about what it's really like running your own business, using social media, building your personal brand. And it's really funny because I think I'm funny.
That helps.
So it's an incredible resource. It really is. So
Yeah.
thank you for all your sharing to the startup community.
Of course, thank you.
Please tell everyone where they can find and follow you.
So you guys can find me on Instagram, obviously, Isabella.Guava, and the iTunes app, anywhere where good podcasts can be found, Spotify, iTunes, Anchor, Google Podcast. It's the Guava Girl Podcast. And I also have a free Facebook community for all women entrepreneurs online, and that is called the Guava Girl Entrepreneur.
Thanks, Guava Girl. Stay tuned. We'll be back with more good morning
Thank you.
content.